All right, welcome teachers. We're so happy to have you here in one of our last Let's Learn Live sessions, part of the TESOL Electronic Village for 2022, brought to you by the Computer Assisted Language Learning Interest section. You are welcome to have your cameras on during today's presentation if you would like. It's optional and not required. And we do ask that you please keep your microphones muted until we get to the question and answer period towards the end of the session. And the session is being recorded and broadcast on our YouTube channel, and I will share that link here in the chat for you all. So you can find recordings of not only this session, but all other live sessions that we have conducted here in the Electronic Village this year, as well as past TESOL conventions and our webinars. So check it out and subscribe if you would like. And now we are at the top of the hour, so I am happy to introduce our presenter today, Amy Christensen. And she is going to be sharing some information about wordplay, exploring creativity and collaboration through music. So featuring artists from the American Music Abroad program, Wordplay is an exciting tool that uses audio, music videos, and social media to bring music and English lyrics into your classroom. So we are going to learn about this free resource and how it can inspire work with the 4 C's and your students. So welcome, Amy.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to share this with you. Let me just share my screen and we can get started. All right, so yeah, today I'm going to introduce you to Wordplay, which is an awesome resource to help you explore creativity and collaboration as you are teaching English language and possibly American culture. So the questions that I want to answer for you today are, what is Wordplay? How can it help me? How have other instructors used it in their classrooms? How can I access Wordplay? And where can I find out more? So what is Wordplay? Wordplay is an exciting program that is a collaboration between the American English program, and I am an alum of the English Language Fellows program, the US Department of State, American Music Abroad, and American Voices to bring music and lyrics into English language classrooms around the world. And the best thing about this is that it is free. So I have a short little teaser sizzle reel video to introduce you just in 1 minute to help you to see the artists and learn a little bit more about Wordplay before I dig in and show you how other teachers have used it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Spoken English has a certain flow to it.
You gonna feel me?
What up, though?
8.
Wanna?
We gone.
9 to 5, leap of faith.
From the heart. Trust yourself. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Boom. 3,
1.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Connecting with your audience is so important.
What we fill our minds with matters.
Using music to express yourself.
And connect with each other.
It's all right here.
It's the real me, and you won't feel me.
Yep.
So that gives you just a little taste of Wordplay. There are 12 Wordplay artists and bands that represent a variety of musical genres. So there are singer-songwriter, kind of quieter pieces. There is jazz, there's pop, there's soul, there's country, there's rock, there's hip hop. There is something for everybody. Each Wordplay artist or group has an artist bio, a glossary with vocabulary that's featured in the videos and in the song, a featured song, lesson plans that are ready to go for you in your classroom, video activities, snapshot activities, and a printable language package. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about each of those things. So about the artist has a couple of paragraphs that tell you kind of the root of the band, where they're from, how many members, what musical style they have, and sometimes other artists that they have played with. And there's also a link to the artist's homepage. And then for each artist or group, there's a list of the vocabulary words from the featured song and the videos. And those words are divided into CEFR categories so that you can pre-teach some of the words if you think students might not be familiar with it, or you can use it as a check after you've used these resources in a quiz. So you can either stream or download 3 different versions of the song. One is the official music video so that everyone can see the musicians and see their instruments and see whatever they're trying to tell you through their video. Then we also have a lyrics only video. You can use that to maybe do karaoke with the students. And then we have the audio only version. So if you really want to focus on students' listening skills, you have that available to you. So you can download to use them offline, or you can stream them live from the website that I'm going to share with you at the end of this presentation. The lesson plans are ready for you to use in the classroom. There's a simple summary at the top of what is going to happen in that lesson. In the upper right-hand corner, you can see it will tell you what level it's appropriate for. It tells you what audio or video is associated with the lesson plan. Then there's step-by-step description of what you need to do, and even variations to make it more or less challenging, or tips to help you try out this activity in an online setting. The really cool thing about this project is that in addition to the music, there are 8 to 10 video interviews that are about 2 or 3 minutes long with the artists and or band members. So some of these focus on musical references or cultural references, maybe what inspired the video, or differences between spoken or written English. And those also have lesson plans and activities. And if there's a printable worksheet that is associated with the activity, there's also an answer key for teachers. So I want to show you an example of what these videos are like. So it gives you something that I think you don't get from a lot of other sources. And one of the things is an example of regional slang from the United States. So as you listen, see if you can fill in these blanks. So this is just 2.5 minutes long, and you are going to learn 2 new slang phrases. So listen and see if you can fill in the blank.
It's time for wordplay. Wordplay. What up, though? I'm Ben Will, and I'm a singer-songwriter and the lead singer of the Ben Will Band. I am so excited to join you for Wordplay and talk about a line from my song, Blade of Grass. But before I start speaking about the song lyric, I want to talk about how I greeted you. I started this video with a popular regional greeting from my home city of Detroit, Michigan. Depending on where you're from, people may greet each other by saying hi, hello, or nice to see you. In Detroit, a popular way African American or Black people greet others we're familiar with is with the phrase, what up, though? It's slang, a take on the greeting, what's up? But in Detroit, we started saying, what's up, though? Then we blended it with some rhythm and aspects of hip hop culture to create the greeting, what up, though? If you listen to rap music, you may have heard the phrase before. Another use of a popular slang phrase can be found in the second verse of my song, Blade of Grass. In the second verse, I sing about the ways we can tap into our joy to combat the challenges life brings us. If you know, then you know, also known as if you know, is a popular urban slang phrase that's sometimes even abbreviated as just IYKYK. It's usually used to reference something that is considered to just be inside information for a particular group of people. If you're in that group, then that means you have access to the information. In the lyrics of my song, I attempted to take a spin on that phrase to invite people who may be on the outside of experiencing joy due to a challenging experience to join in on the practice of activating joy from within. I hope I was able to help you learn a little bit more about some of the regional slang phrases from the US and especially from Detroit. Again, my name is Ben Will. Thank you for being a part of Wordplay. Peace.
Play.
Okay, so I already see some of the answers in the chat, which is awesome. So what up though is regional slang from Detroit, and it means hello or what's up. It's a greeting. Yes. If you know is abbreviated as IYKYK, which some of you already put in the chat. That's awesome. And what does it mean? It's a reference to inside information for a particular group of people. So now if we're going to talk about wordplay, now I can say, if you know to you, because now you get the reference. Another short video resource that's a part of this project are the snapshots. So these are just very, very short, 30 seconds long, and the artists are responding to a question. So for example, here, Gina Chavez, she is asked, what are your hobbies? And she says, I love cycling, I love ping pong. So these are great activities for you to do as a quick beginner or ender activity, and also as an energizer. Like if you feel like students are just getting a little sleepy, this can be another way to engage with them. So I'm going to show you an example of a quick snapshot activity that you can do. It's answering this question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? So I'm going to share with you what 4 of our wordplay artists, what their superpower would be. You can see if it compares and matches with yours.
Oh, I would want to be invincible. I am the biggest wuss when it comes to any sort of physical injury or ailment. I just want to be able to skateboard down a windy mountain road at full speed without worrying about getting hurt.
All the superpowers that one might have, my personal one would be an omniglot. What's an omniglot? Someone who can speak all languages. I feel communication is the most important thing, and if one can master every single spoken language, that would be pretty awesome.
Teleportation, because I want to travel and get places faster.
Oh, if I had a superpower, if I were being, practical, I'd probably try and clean up plastic waste in the ocean or something like that. Plastic cleanup man.
Okay, so now you just learned what 4 superpowers would be the superpower of choice for some of the wordplay artists. So this is a simple activity that you can do. In the classroom, I call it stand where you stand. So you would read the question and students would move to a specific spot in the classroom that matches their answer. Usually I pick a corner for each one, but we are not in the classroom, right? We are in Zoom. So instead, I'm gonna have you move to the corner of your screen that matches your answer. So of these 4, which would you choose? Upper left, right? If it's invincibility, upper right for omniglot, lower left for teleportation, lower right for plastic cleanup man. So what is yours? I can see that we have a lot of omniglots. Not surprised about that one, since we're all language teachers. We've got some teleportation. Man, would I love that, because then I could teleport to TESOL and see everybody there. We could all do that. Other teleportations I see, omniglots, yes, clean up the environment, some invincibility, awesome. So that's just a way that you can take something like a little 30-second clip and make it into something that is an activity for your students. So for all of the lessons, you can download everything as one lesson package, or you can do the individual lessons. So you can look, and if there's a specific activity that you want to do that's associated with a specific video, you can just download that activity, or you can download the whole thing as one PDF, go through it, and find what works for you. Each printable lesson package has that list of relevant vocabulary, just a simple glossary divided by CEFR categories, full song lyrics, pre-listening or pre-viewing activities that you can do before the students listen to the song or watch a video, activities that students can do while listening to a song or watching a video. So some examples are like a lyric scramble, a gap fill, or short question and answer, and then some activities that they can do after they listen to the song or after they watch a video. So this is an example of something creative that you can do, and it's a post-listening activity. So it's using an idiomatic expression from the song Till Further Notice. And first it's asking questions just to get that kind of background knowledge activated. So where is the wick of a candle? What do you think of when you look at a candle? What do you think the song lyric "keeping the wick of hope lit" means? And then draw your own candle, write a sentence about a hope or wish you have. So you could do this all in one setting. You could assign the drawing as homework. You could assign the whole thing as homework and talk about it the next day. But you can see how this, not only are the students learning some of these expressions and learning English, but they also have a chance to be creative with some of these activities. This is a picture of a student who did this activity. So they wrote what their hope was. And this song specifically is about COVID. And so they were able to express their feelings about that time. So this came from a secondary school teacher. This was his assignment. So he said, "We know music has an impact on people, but we never really notice how powerful that can be. My students' vocabulary is limited, but they were able to understand what the song was about with just one listen. Till Further Notice was an incredible journey. We wish people would make more songs like this one." Other teachers have really liked the lyric scramble. I guess the students have too. So this teacher from Senegal was saying that the students really liked the lyric scramble. So they get sections of the lyrics and they have to listen and put them in the correct order. And then at the end, they can use that to sing the song. So we call that a lyric scramble. You can also do a lyric scramble in an online class. I know the last presentation was about Google Jamboard. So a university lecturer from Indonesia used Jamboard and did a lyric scramble on Jamboard for an online class. Other instructors have really liked how much they can use this for student discussions and to talk about the main idea of a song using the lyrics and learning new expressions, including slang like we saw, but also things like phrasal verbs and idioms, and then being able to have a little debate about the music. A teacher from India told us that her students came up with a jingle using one of the idioms that they learned from the song, because she has budding singers and poets in her class, which I think is awesome. And then some teachers have also had their students write poetry, which is another activity that we have where students are inspired to write their own poems or to do their own drawings. And so teachers from all over the world already have found the lessons and the music to be really great and to help them save time, because we know that you're busy and you want to engage with your students and your students want to learn real authentic English. So just to wrap up before we do Q&A, there's 12 wordplay artists representing all these different categories that you can find on the website. There's an artist bio, a glossary, a featured song, lesson plans, videos and video activities, snapshot activities, and a printable language package for each artist. And in that language package, there is the vocabulary, the full song lyrics, pre-listening activities you can do while listening, and post-listening or post-viewing activities. So if you want to learn more about these resources, I know that this was already put in the chat, but you can go to thelyricsproject.org or americanenglish.state.gov, because this is a collaboration project. So both of those are great resources for you to find a ton of things that you can use in the classroom. So my question now is, what questions do you have? And I will try my best to answer them.
Well, I am excited about Wordplay, Amy. Thank you so much for giving us this overview and for showing some demo videos and the wide range of resources that are ready to go for you teachers right now. And as I mentioned in the chat, I love that these are all able to be used and downloaded, so you don't have to have an internet connection active in your classroom while you use them, which is always a plus. So let's see. I see a question from Vicky in the chat asking about ages and sort of levels that this material is for.
Yeah, I would say the ages would be like middle school all the way up to college. And the levels, we have some activities that are specifically geared for beginners and some that are for intermediate or advanced students. And we also have some activities where we'll say less challenging or more challenging. So if you think that the main activity is too easy or too difficult, we have suggestions for how to adjust it.
Super. I see a question from Sam about the two websites. Is there a difference? They will take you to the same place, Sam. Thank you for that question. A question from Sarah asking about, is there a recommended order for the lessons? Is there any kind of sequence within the information on the website as a unit?
Sure. Well, generally, if you download the whole package, you will see that they have like the pre-listening and the lyrics and the vocabulary first, and then the activities that you can do while listening to the song or watching the videos, and then the post-listening stuff after. But really, it's up to you. If you go on the website, the very first thing that you'll see when you click on an artist is the song. And then it has the extra videos that are where the artist is speaking directly to the students, and the activities that go with that. And then down at the bottom usually are the snapshots. Those are those short little 30-second activities.
Excellent. Pamela wants to know if this project is complete or will additional artists be joining in the future?
Thank you for that question, Pamela. Right now, it's about half of the artists are released, and we're releasing about one a month. So if it's something that you like, you can come back each month and learn more about a new artist.
Excellent. Always keeping it fresh. And I'm guessing you're going to have even more musical genres or categories represented as you make additions.
I really hope so. I saw somebody said reggaeton, and I would love that. So I hope that they expand and do some more genres in the future.
Excellent. Chris wants to know your favorite song in this awesome package, and what would you recommend that users start with?
Man, that's so hard. I think that Seth Glyer is a really easy one to start with because the song is a little bit slower, and it's also really relevant because it's about living through COVID, and we've all just been doing and are doing that. And so I think that's a really great one to start with. It's just kind of mellow, and it's easy for everybody to understand. Otherwise, if you're looking for something really positive, Ben Will's Blade of Grass is like super fun and a really positive song.
Great recommendations. Elizabeth is curious about how the project selects the singers and which songs to use.
Sure. The artists apply to be part of the group. And I will be honest, I am not part of that selection process, so I'm not sure how they're deciding. But I do know they're looking like, is the song, appropriate? Is it something that teaches us about, American culture in some way? I know that they really like things that will teach like a cultural point, or that are unique. Like maybe we don't have a country band, or we don't have a bluegrass artist. So I think there's lots of things that they consider when choosing an artist or a band, but the artists choose us, they apply.
Nice, I like that. There is a related question here from Sandy, and she wants to know, in relation to the appropriateness that you just mentioned, are there any songs that might work for younger learners?
Yeah, I think we do. So I don't know how young she's thinking. Like I said, it is kind of aimed at like, middle school, high school, college. And so you definitely do want to preview it first, but, there's not like any inappropriate language. We make sure that there's not that, and that there's nothing that would be really objectionable, I guess. But let me think, who would be good? I think for younger learners, maybe Ben Will, maybe Tony Memel would be another good one for younger learners.
Great. And as with any resource as a teacher, I think previewing the content and making sure that it's a good fit culturally and content-wise is something that we all always want to try to do. So there is a lot to explore for you teachers out there. So feel free to preview that content before you use with students. Let me just see if we have any other questions. We have still about 5 minutes, so keep them coming if you have more. Let's see, earlier Monica asked, would this be useful perhaps maybe in an ESL context, maybe somebody who's speaking in an English language dominant or majority language location? Would this be useful for students who've lived in the US for a long time?
Definitely, I think so. And one of the reasons is that video that I showed you where there's regional English. So maybe if students are living in, the South, for example, they can learn a little bit about, hey, what does English sound like in Detroit? Also, the artists talk about their city in those snapshots videos and in some of the other ones. So students can learn about different parts of the US, different genres of music, what the American experience is like for different people living in different parts of the United States.
That is an important point. The United States, just like any country out there, isn't one culture. There are microcultures, regional cultures, and language evolves, right? English is always changing. So maybe some slang that some additional language learners might have used or learned about when they first moved to the US, maybe things have changed. I know that I am always keeping up with new terms and slangs, and I've been speaking English for a very long time. So I think that content like this can be beneficial to everyone.
Yeah, I love that too. And that's one of the real jewels, I think, of this resource is that you have those interviews with the artists. So the students are able to hear this real authentic version of American English. And we know that's what they want, that if they come here, they meet an American, to be able to speak in that natural way.
Yeah. One question that I had is, with regional dialects and cultural groups, maybe this is kind of a complicated question. How can our students know when it's appropriate to use certain maybe regional dialect items that might be unique to a cultural group?
Yeah, I think, some of that may be something that you need to bring up with your students, but also as you can see in the video, the artists are saying that too, right? So Ben Will said, this is something that we use in Detroit, and it tends to be, African American or Black Americans that use this more, or it's used in hip hop, for example. So a lot of it is in the videos themselves, where they'll say this is the context where it's used.
Yeah, great. That's helpful information. I was glad to see that in the video. And so sometimes there might be language that we don't produce ourselves, but that it is still helpful to have an awareness of the meaning and the context of the group or person that is communicating. So helpful either way. Well, we are reaching the end of our session. Amy, thank you for sharing this amazing project with our very full Zoom room. We are full to capacity. If you know anybody that